Hi guys, welcome to Stretty News, and World Cup Day has come finally. Jesus Christ, this is what you wait all 4 years for this sort of excitement of a World Cup. I'm joined today by Dale and Serge. Jonathan's sunning himself up in the massive US of A. He says that, but saying that he'd got worse conditions yesterday than Manchester, so we're basking up in it.
I don't believe it. I think he's at a cheap motel on the M60.
That could be true, but unfortunately I've not been able to track his Facebook account or his Twitter account to his location just yet. Anyways, back on to proceedings. We're going to sort of doing these like daily World Cup sort of reviews and previews of all the United players. There's 14 United players, and obviously our new manager is out for the Holland team in Brazil. So we're going to be checking up on all the players throughout the entire tournament. I'm going to bring in Dale though, because Dale obviously runs the blog side of it. I wanted to ask him what sort of content can we find on the blog. You know, there's a lot of varieties that you've got at your disposal. Let's find out what's going to be happening on StrettyNews.com.
Yeah, it's going to be different to what you see in the big outlets like BBC, who focusing on match reports and that. We're basically going to be keeping an eye on the Manchester United players, Louis van Gaal, and break it down with kind of personal opinion on what we think of how these players are getting on over in Brazil. Expect humour too. It's not going to be too serious because it's off season for all of us, but we're going to enjoy the international tournament. Unfortunately, it's not the best time of the year. Obviously, watching United is a lot better than following nations. Well, each their own on that one, but we'll have a bit of fun. We look at players that are linked to it: Schweinsteiger, Luke Shaw, players that are involved. You know, and big eye on Holland this year because our new manager is over them.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to have a nosy at the sort of transfer targets that have been mentioned. Obviously now Fabregas is completely out the window as he's gone to Chelsea, so there's no need to be really looking at Spain apart from if David De Gea is going to get his chance. And also then you've got to, is Mata going to be brought into the sort of realms with their midfield as well? It's going to be interesting sort of to watch Spain on that sort of bend. But is there any other sort of players that from Spain that United are going to really look at? I'm not really too sort of fussed on that idea.
Should have been Fabregas.
Should have been Fabregas last summer, apparently. Yeah, we're still scratching our heads about what Woodward's been up to for the past 2 summers. He's probably just jetting it off on some sort of Bahamas beach somewhere, isn't he? Anyways, back down to the sort of quick topics that we're going to be bringing up. Obviously, Mexico Group A, they play Cameroon tomorrow night. So Hernandez, although he doesn't think that he should be in the starting 11 from what I've read today, you'd expect that he's going to be in the starting 11 for Mexico. So
I think the confusing thing there is he's been quite outspoken last season that he should be getting more games by Manchester United, and he doesn't think he should be starting in Mexico. Come on, Hernandez.
Is he falling out of love with football? What's he doing? What's happening? He'll probably have a stormer. He'll absolutely storm it, won't he? It'll be mental. Anyways, I've mentioned Spain for Group B. What was my other team for Group B? Obviously, yeah, the Netherlands. We've mentioned Van Persie is going to be the main man for Van Gaal, so we'll see how he gets on under his national coach and now his club coach. That's going to be interesting. On to Group C. Japan play at 2 a.m. on Saturday. Sunday morning. It's 2 a.m. UK time. That's going to be a bit mental if anybody's staying up after the England match to watch that game. Obviously, that features Kagawa, who's been on quite good, really good form coming into this into the tournament, the run-up games and stuff like that. So that's going to be interesting to see where he, if he picks up that form, he continues that form. Obviously, he's a big player for Japan, but they've got some really good players as well, you know. So maybe have a look at some Japan players for United. They like to pick out, we've had Park in the past from that side of the world to see if there's any transfer targets there. Where was it up to? C. D. Obviously England. We've got to be watching the likes of Jones, Rooney, Smalling. Obviously, we've got those centre-back pairing. Are they going to actually be able to get a chance with Cahill and Jagielka at the back for England? Are we going to see Danny Welbeck at any point? Is he going to start against Italy? Obviously, all this thing with him having a slight injury. Moving on to Group E, which figures France. So Patrice Evra should be his last World Cup. Many been actually quite outspoken about him. Actually, should have been really the captain, although he's not for this World Cup. I think maybe South Africa in 2010 was why he's not been picked as a captain this time, and the uproar that came from that. Now we look at Ecuador, who England played the other day. Antonio Valencia captain for there, so you're guaranteed to see him in their games. There is no United player in the whole of Group F. Moving on to Group G, Nani features for Portugal, and so we'll see if he scored a brilliant goal the other day. I don't know if you've seen it, lads. Has anybody seen that really good goal that was disallowed? Unfortunately,
No.
Have you not seen it? I will post up a link on Twitter to a video that I've seen. It's basically, it does 1-2 round, about 3 or 4 defenders across in the pitch, across the box, ends up in the middle of the box. Nice little back heel, sort of well beckons past the keeper into the bottom corner. He's just caught offside though. It's unlucky as hell. And you're thinking, well, where the hell did he spring that from? He's been shit all season. What's going on? Anyways, moving on to H, final group obviously features Belgium, and probably, you've got to say, the easiest out of all those sort of teams that we just mentioned, is 9 teams featuring a United player. Belgium's got to be the one with the best chance to go through the group stages. They've got obviously Fellaini, who's probably going to try and put himself in some sort of shop window now. The United have slapped a £15 million price tag on him. And then obviously Januzaj, who's going to make would hope to see him make his second debut for Belgium after his first initial one was ruled out by FIFA. So, lads, I'm just going to come to you first, Serge. Who do you think's got the best chance of going the furthest as a United player with all those teams that are involved, pal?
Who's going to go the furthest? Well, United players, I'd probably say Nani. I'd probably say Nani. Nani, definitely. I think that would probably be it. I can't see England doing much. Who do you think?
We've got Spain, Netherlands. Do you not think those teams sort of get a bit further?
Matter at Spain. I don't know. I'm not really a World Cup type guy. I'm a club before country type guy, if I'm honest with you. So I'll go Matter.
It says with a picture of Pele behind it.
I'll go Matter and Nani. Play safe. Spain and Portugal. Dale, take over.
For me, Mata and David De Gea. I think Spain will go all the way. I can't see a team that can outclass them just yet. People are talking about like Germany, some great, fantastic players, but I can't see they had the bottle yet. Could be wrong though. You never know with these World Cups. There's always a big team that kind of surprised everyone by being very poor. And there's always a kind of an unexpected team that shows everyone up. I think there's talks of the likes of there's so much talk right now of Belgium, which obviously features Fellaini and Januzaj, and they're expected to do so well, and they have the players to do so well. But I'm just thinking expectations, and will it get to them? I don't think they'll win it, but I think I'm guessing we're going to go on to predictions in a few minutes before we wrap it up. But there's talk as well about Golden Boot. I think someone to look out for is Lukaku. Obviously, on loan at Everton from Chelsea last season, but he's banging in goals for Belgium, and they have an easy enough group. So I think that's a safe bet. What do you think, Ian?
Yeah, I was just going to think that you're not treading on the idea that Brazil are probably going to be favourites anyway. Home advantage, the conditions suit their type of play. I think everyone, if you watched the BBC's programme last night with their preview, I think everyone was throwing down the idea that it was just going to be literally nailed on to be Brazil, and everyone's passing the idea of Messi having a good World Cup for Argentina, or Argentina themselves as a team having a really decent World Cup. It was a bit strange. My predictions for the furthest team to go further would have to be the Netherlands, though. I think that Van Gaal's really got a really good squad. He's sort of going to be he's not on the outsiders. But I do think they've got a really decent squad, and if Van Persie has a really good run of games in the World Cup, he has done it in qualification. Actual fact, I think he scored about 10 goals or something in the whole qualification, which is why he sort of picked his place back up from Van Gaal, because when Van Gaal first came in, he benched Van Persie for Huntler. So it's sort of interesting to see that he earned his place, and if he gets a run of games and run of goals, there's only 7 in the whole tournament, but you play 3 of those, get through the group stages, 4 and a 5th. You could actually see Van Persie as a Golden Boot scorer
Yeah.
I think they've got they've got quite a not too bad sort of easy route. Like England, for instance, can come up in the qualifying in the quarterfinals against Brazil, so you sort of end England's sort of competition there. But you know, they sort of Netherlands sort of can avoid some of the bigger teams until further on, like the semis and final. Then
I think the one area of concern for the Netherlands, they do have a good squad. There's an area of concern over what system Van Gaal will go for. He's known for going for the 4-3-3. He's tested the 3-5-2. Recently he went for 4-4-2, and there's a bit of an uncertainty over which system he will go for. And players do like having be kind of familiar with the system they're going to play. And the preparation games for the World Cup, they mix it around quite a lot. Which one he'll go for, we don't know. It's an interesting thing to look at because it doesn't necessarily say what system he'll go with at Manchester United. He'll go with system he believes is best for the players he has. And you do get the feeling with the players he has at Holland, he doesn't quite know yet. So, you know, I think the Holland team is very, very different to the Manchester United team. Areas that are strong. They're strong in midfield. Manchester United are not. Both teams could be perhaps a bit shaky defensively, but they share quite something in common in terms of being real threats going forward. And that's the kind of manager Louis van Gaal is. He likes to attack, and United fans have a lot to be excited about. And I think they get a good indication of what kind of manager he is this World Cup. And I think all eyes are going to be on Holland from Manchester United perspective, and you'll get that from the blog. We're going to keep a real big eye on them and the systems they play too, and what influence class he has, and Indy, and of course the
Indy Kyler.
Who? But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting World Cup. We've never been in this situation before, that we've a new manager, and the first time we're really going to be focusing on him is in a World Cup. It's a bit different, but there's definitely a bit of excitement. Just a question for Serge, and Andy, it's a tough one. I think Serge actually asked it on Twitter last week and got people going. Is for the sake of having Louis van Gaal back in Manchester and dealing with transfers and targets and so on and so forward, would you prefer to see him get knocked out the group stages, or would you like to see Louis van Gaal go all the way and win it?
It's an easy answer for me. I want him out. I want him out of the get knocked out. Don't care. Get knocked out, and then get home to Manchester and get Ed Woodward sorted, because he's messing around evidently. He's messing around with the signings. We've not signed anyone. Chelsea have signed Fabregas, and they've signed, looking at the signing, Philip Luiz and
Costa.
And Costa, and we've got Tom Cleverley.
Ian.
We've got Tom Cleverley, Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, as much as we'd probably like to see Holland out as quickly as possible, their only really opponents in their group, Group B, is Spain. Chile, I presume, are not really going to cause that many chaos, and Australia definitely not. So we'd hope to see that they'd probably get out of knocked out in the second phase, because I can't see them not qualifying out the group stage. But then again, do we want to see Van Persie have a really good summer and bring that form back to Manchester? Do we sort of? There's all sort of questions when it comes down to a World Cup, and these sort of brings back everything that you want about a World Cup. Really, it's a bit strange not to have a World Cup year without you wanting to know what United players are up to, because you do lose form, you do get form from a World Cup, and some players use that to boost into the next season. Some of them come off the back of a tiring season. United have not particularly had the best of seasons, although United have actually played a lot of games this season, so you sort of do we wonder if we get a dip in form and stuff like that. So it's sort of, I always think that World Cups are more quite interesting from a player's point of view, as well as the fact that you're playing these sort of games week in, week out. So it's a bit strange. But yeah, I love a World Cup summer. Anyways, what was your original question, Dale?
It was just in regard. It was just regarding say Louis van Gaal and Would you like to see him get knocked out at the group stage so he gets back to Manchester sooner? And that's, that's when I quote Serge saying, "Start Ed Woodward out," or go the full way and come back to or join the club full of beans, full of happiness, full of I'm not too sure what I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. Champions of the world.
Yeah, I think I've covered that in actual fact. I said that he's probably got an easy group to go through. So you'd hope that if he was to get knocked out early on, then Holland would get knocked out at the second phase.
I tell you, for me,
I don't know what I predict, because I think this is one of the strangest World Cups that it's been for a while. That there's not really a sort of team with plenty of There's a number of teams, and there's a number of teams sat behind them that are not, outsiders that could really nick it. There's not really enough of the sort of major teams that could sort of win World Cups. They're all spread about a lot evenly than what they majoritively are. So I think this is going to be a really good World Cup. Let's just hope that Louis van Gaal sent his scouts out anyway, no matter where he gets knocked out himself.
But even on that question for myself, I think we should touch on it, that on the bright side, it doesn't matter what happens with Holland to do well, to go all the way, to get out in the group stages. We've got Louis van Gaal coming in, no longer David Moyes. I'm absolutely buzzing. If we can go all the way, we can boast by having a manager that's just won a World Cup. And if he doesn't go all the way, gets knocked out of the group stages, we can just be happy that he's back in the job as quick as possible, sorting out players. So either way, it's a win-win situation. We've got Louis van Gaal, and no longer David Moyes.
Yeah, it is a sort of win-win situation. I thought a lot of United fans are sort of relieved that this news came before the World Cup, and we sort of expected some sort of signings before the World Cup, and that's not happened. I think we've just got to sit back and hope that those deals come quite quick and soon after the World Cup. So I'm going to finish this off with predictions. Who's your winner for the World Cup, Dale? I'm going to search next.
Winner for the World Cup is Spain. Golden Boot, Lukaku. Serge?
Serge?
I'm going to go, winners are Germany, with our player Bastian Schweinsteiger. Hopefully we'll sign him, that'd be nice. And maybe I'm going to go with Germany. I think Germany will win it, to be honest. I think they've got a solid team. Germany to win. Golden Boot will be... I think you'll be a bit surprised with this one. I'm going to go with... I don't know. I think it'll be a surprising one, though. It'll be
I don't know is that's a bigger surprise than I was expecting.
No, as in I think it'll be a someone that we don't think it would have been. Basically, I don't think they understand it. Might be Fernando Torres.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some points there. I've been thinking Germany for a couple of weeks now, but then I thought, are Germany really going to be able to cope with the conditions as much as these South American teams? So I'm sort of split between Barcelona, Brazil and Argentina. But, in my same respect, my golden boot would have to go to Suarez. Uruguay have got quite an easy route. I know. It's quite hard to say.
It's not easy at all, Scott, isn't it?
I'm not saying he's got to score goals against us, but come on.
You're doing what
he could put 5 past. He could put Costa Rica. He could put 5 past Costa Rica, and he's already nearly enough 10 Gary Lineker goals.
Jamie Jackson, you.
I didn't say he was going to win it. My prediction is he's going to be Brazil to win it, but Luis Suarez, he's been on top form all season, and he sort of likes to see that he can play the same sort of Liverpool role.
So we can confirm. Serge says Torres. Ian says
Suarez.
Suarez, and I'm going for Lukaku. So
let's see who's right. Okay, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, we should put these in envelopes and open them at the end.
Who gets the most out of all of us?
Who's in the know? Who's indie?
Yeah, who's indie? Martin's indie.
That's not a major World Cup topic, though, guys.
Do you reckon Indy Car was related to Martin's indie?
I'm sure Martin's Indy wouldn't want to be associated with some KFC charlatan.
Charlatan.
Dear me. Right, we've gone back into the farce of Twitter rather than welcome knowledge. Anyways, back to recapping. Me and Serge, and hopefully Jonathan when he gets back from the other side of the Atlantic, we'll be keeping you up to date, as well as I think Adam might be joining us as well. Keeping you up to date on a daily sort of blog on Stretty News TV for the whole of the World Cup. And Dale's going to be producing some great quality match reports and content on StrettyNews.com, so give him a follow at Stretty News, and also check out StrettyNews.com for there's billions of stuff on there already. And we will see you tomorrow. Pretty easy. Subscribe, guys, and we'll have a like for the video as well. That'll always help.